One. Good afternoon. This is Dr. John Bennett broadcasting from Miami for InternetMedicine.com. Today we have the pleasure of having Corinne and John
Correct.
Malanca, Corinne and John Malanca from San Francisco. They have a group, United Patients Group, based in San Francisco, where they basically educate people about medicinal marijuana, and they have an exciting conference with some excellent speakers coming up, and they're going to take us through it. So good day, Corinne.
Good morning. Good morning.
Corinne.
Corinne.
Good day, Corinne.
We'll get it. Good morning, John. How are you?
Good. Okay, take it away.
You want to talk?
So my name is John Malanca, and this is my wife, Corinne Malanca, and we own a company out here in the San Francisco Bay Area called United Patients Group, and we are the leading information and educational site on medical cannabis. We don't sell product, but we inform medical professionals as well as patients, not only here in our country but overseas as well. And what we have, we do a medical conference every year, and our next one is coming up here in May 21st and 22nd at Dominican University of California in the San Francisco Bay Area. And we have a pretty impressive lineup. Our conferences are CME and CE accredited, so medical professionals of all sorts can come and get the medical credits needed. We also do a pre-conference nurses workshop for nurses that offers 4 CE, and then on our actual conference, which is Saturday and Sunday, the 21st and 22nd, we offer 6 CMEs and CEs for medical professionals, and it's open to the public as well. So the attendee list is pretty much 50-50 from medical professionals that want to learn, that are curious, as well as some who are on the fence still, as well as the public who is also curious, or the chronically ill. So we do get a mixture of that. Out of our speaker list, we fly in the top researchers and medical professionals.
There's a speaker list, John.
Yep, that come in, and then we intertwine them with patient stories in between each of the professional speakers. So what you see on the screen here right now is our confirmed speaker list, and we'll start off. Actually, we start off with our county supervisor, so Judy Arnold. So we do have the support of our local community. So she always does our opening remarks, and then as you see, there is Dr. Dustin Sulak. He is on our advisory board, but he talks about the endocannabinoid system and
Endocannabinoid physiology.
Excuse me, endocannabinoid physiology. And so Dr. Sulak is out of Maine. He has Integrate Health out of Maine. He also has a location in the Boston area. Wonderful guy, very, very knowledgeable. Following Dustin, we have Dr. Bonnie Goldstein, also an MD. Actually, Dr. Sulak was an osteopath. Dr. Goldstein is also on our advisory board, and she specializes in pediatric and cannabis. And actually, those two doctors, there's only about 5% of doctors in this cannabis industry that really know medicine and cannabinoid therapeutics. What we do is pride ourselves in education, and educating other physicians, not only here in the U.S. but around the world, is what our goal is. Dr. Goldstein is a master at what she does and specializes again in pediatrics, not only with cancer but with epilepsy as well. Dr. Ethan Russo, also an MD, he is one of the leading researchers in medical cannabis. He was on the research team and worked for GW Pharmaceutical, which is based out of the UK, which does have one of the top pharmaceutical cannabis products truly made and derived from the cannabis plant, called Sativex. Right now, Dr. Russo is based out of, I want to say, Washington, correct?
I think he's Washington. He also was with the NIH for a period of time as well. So he has both conventional medicine connections as well as botanical connections. I think he's one of the founders of Phytech. That's the company he's with now, and they research cannabinoids as well as other botanicals as they can play a role in conventional medicine.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. The next one is Dr. Julie Holland. She's written books. She's a MD, but she's a psychopharmacologist, I think, as well, is what it says.
Yeah.
and she will speak on mental illness. She has a lot of firsthand experience. She worked at a mental hospital, Bellevue, out in New York, for quite some time, and she'll be speaking on her findings in that sector.
But she also teaches at NYU Medical School as well, School of Medicine. Excuse me.
Next one.
Next one, Eloise Thiessen. She is a RN, but she is an oncology nurse as well as a nurse practitioner. Also specializes in geriatrics. She works here at United Patients Group. She's also handling and running our nurses workshop that we do quarterly, but we do for this conference on May 20th. We do have a pre-conference nurses workshop for nurses that want to get into this sector. Nurses do a lot for this industry. They're very hands-on, and at the same time, especially Eloise can specialize in dosing and guidance, and also does a lot of hand-holding as well. So she not only works here at United Patients Group, she has her own organization and speaks and teaches at a few local colleges as well. And then Charlotte Igo, if you want to carry on, Corinne.
Charlotte Igo comes out of Arizona. She has last year she spoke at our conference, and at that time she was the only hospice entity that was authorized to administer cannabis. Maybe that's changed by now. I haven't asked her, but she speaks on cannabis in hospice and palliative care. And then the next one is Jeremy Wolf, who happens to be a historian. He's actually a photographer as well, but he will be motivationally speaking on how we got to where we are now, where we came from in terms of cannabis and cannabis as a medicine, as it was a medicine 70-plus years ago here. And he'll just be speaking on the history and on from there, and where we are now in medical cannabis and where we are going. And the next one is Diana Pena and Jeff Kaleri. They are the founders of Miriam's Hope. They're one of the top cannabis oil companies. They work more like a compound pharmacy. You won't find the people that we work with in terms of referrals for our patients. We rarely refer to dispensaries. It's hard to find the help you need and the various formulations that you need. So Miriam's Hope is one of the top companies for formulations, and they're going to talk about dosing, formulations, and potencies, which are very important because this treatment or protocol is not a one-size-fits-all. Even if you have 2 people with lung cancer, you would not necessarily treat them the same. It would have to do with their medical history, other ailments, medications, supplements. There's so much to be taken into consideration before a specific formulation and dosing is recommended.
And then Kathy Bennett Warner, wonderful woman. She works for a lab out here called Steep Hill Laboratory, and she'll be speaking on the importance of testing. And testing should be mandatory. Safe medicine is very important because when you do test, they test for mold, pesticides, metals, making sure that the formulations are correct. What she recently spoke at a conference in Colorado, she mentioned that only about 30% of the product that comes through their lab that tested is I guess approved and passed for that. So I don't know if we're live or we're looking at Bill right now.
Hey, hold on.
There we go.
Okay. A little glitch in the system.
No problem. But just to show you how serious this is, out of the 100% of cannabis that comes through their lab, only 30% passes. And that doesn't mean that the rest get thrown away. They pass 30%, and guess what? Probably about 100% of that still goes into the market. And so for a patient that is chronically ill or the immune system is low, this is something that will compromise their health. And so what we're fighting for out here in California is mandatory testing. People don't realize California has been a legal state for 21 years. as a medical cannabis state. So excited to have her on. Debbie Wilson, I know Corinne knows her personally.
Oh, Debbie Wilson, as you can see, she's a PhD. She had a traumatic brain injury that led to a seizure disorder, and she was completely disabled. She has a remarkable story. This is part of the reason why we love to alternate the science with stories such as Debbie's and many others. It continues to keep the attention of the attendees of why we do what we do and how it can help, and these people are just thrilled to be on stage to be able to share their story. So Debbie Wilson will be doing that.
I'll do this guy. This guy is my favorite.
Okay.
He's my idol.
He has a great personality too.
I'm very impressed with this little guy. His name's Colton Turner. He's 15.
16.
Just turned 16.
Yeah,
I got to change that. He's a leap year baby, so he's probably only 4. But what a remarkable young man. And if the rest of the future follows his footsteps, we have a pretty good future for our world. He was someone who was in a drowning accident, and he has a very severe case, had a severe case of Crohn's disease. He's one of the patients that you would call, I guess, they were forced to travel from leaving one state to move to the other.
A refugee.
A refugee, a cannabis refugee, and his family's from Illinois, and they were seeing all the news on medical cannabis and Crohn's, and they were against cannabis, and they said, we have to try this. This is our only hope. Colton was pretty much told he would only be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life.
Actually, they didn't think he was going to live at all till his next birthday.
So his father said, let's go jump on a plane and go to a legal state. The closest state to them at that time was Colorado. They went to Colorado, and at the same time, his father was still scratching his head, like, what am I doing? What am I actually doing? So this isn't our lifestyle. So at the same time, they tried medicine, and the day that he tried the medicine, it was a snowy day in Colorado, is how his story goes, and they were walking through the snow, in the streets of Colorado, and next thing you know, he got hit in the back of the head with a snowball, and all he remembers turning around and seeing his son laugh and running. And he said, oh,
hadn't happened in years.
So from that moment on, he said, this medicine is truly medicine. Well, Colton not only is running, you can see him climbing on rock walls in Colorado. He is a total success and a motivational speaker, but he became Activist of the Year last year, and he beat out the rock star Melissa Etheridge, which we thought was pretty great. And so we were able to introduce him to her a couple months ago in Colorado. And so anyway, excited.
But he's been in remission for 2 years.
He has been in remission for 2 years.
The next one, Rebecca. Do we have her correct last name? Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Rebecca has 2 children, both with epilepsy. One has epilepsy and autism, and she's speaking about her journey and remarkable results with cannabis. And Brian Keener is a retired police officer. He was hit by a truck, I've heard, in foot pursuit, and had a traumatic brain injury and had to learn to walk and speak from the beginning again. And then the Gridiron Cannabis Coalition.
Gridiron Cannabis Coalition. We do have a retired NFL and NBA players, and if your brother John wants to join the panel, he's more than. Or excuse me, Bill wants to join the panel. You can come out. I understand Bill's a retired NHL, so applaud you as well. But for the current 3 speakers that we have is Brandon Ha, Cliff Robertson, and then Eddie Lee Williams Jr. And so they'll be representing the NFL as well as the NBA. On that as well. But so this all takes place on May 21st and 22nd at Dominican University, and you can find more about this on our website, UnitedPatientsGroup.com, and you can find the UPG conference tab on there. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to, we have a 20% discount, and the promo code is PPSI, Paul Sam Igloo, PPSI, and that will get you a 20% off discount for the conference as well. So, thank you, John.
Very good, a great lineup, and we look forward to seeing the conference. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. John. Have a great day.
Hey,